welcome back everybody. Today's a spicy one. I'll try and keep it quick. I have some new stuff to show you. Disclaimer, there's some Metazoo opening at the end, so I'll keep it at the end if you want to skip off and not watch that. First thing I want to show you guys, let me make sure I can see what I'm showing you. So, right, there we go. So these are some misprints. Arcane Unlimited, courtesy of Ollie, who owns Blood Rush Gaming. I'm sure you can see they're way darker than they should be, and there's a lot more purple, red on the foiling. You can really see it on these next two cards, the Rune Flash. I think these are gorgeous. I might sleeve them. Love your opinion. Love to know if you've seen this before, if you've got examples of it. I'd love to know what you think they're worth. I'm not really holding them to sell them or anything because they were just given to me. But he was telling me that he had like a whole box of this stuff that was, the foiling was just nuts. Very dark, very purple. I might leave those there for you guys to have a look at. So yeah, mail day, item number 1. Some misprints. I also got my hands on this beauty. It's the Taiwanese Fate Foreseen promo. This person's had it graded. This is a beautiful slab. The company called Relic. It has a barcode on the back. I think it's New Zealand company. I'm not sure if I'll get this regraded or keep it, but this is my first one of these promo cards. It's in really good condition. A+ for these guys is like a 9.5. You can see they've given it a 5 for edges and service. Anyway, just showing this off. Beautiful card. Very, very happy I got my hands on one. I'll put these to the side. I might remove this mat. I obviously am showing you the mat I bought recently as well. This is the staff playmat. They have given some of these out to content creators or people that support Flesh and Blood, but very cool to have one. I'll try and use it often in the videos. It's a cool one to open stuff on. So I've got 3 parcels to open. I think I know what it all is. Start with this one. From memory. Well, I know what it is. I guess I shouldn't spoil it for you guys. Oh, cool. He sent me a bag. I don't know if you just use that as packaging or what, but that's a cool bag anyway. I'll make sure I reuse that. So we've got that 100% feels like an empty box of Crew, so he's probably used it for some protective storage. Let's have a look. Aha. So this is another. I did mention in a video I was hunting for some of these, so now you guys can see. I've picked up a couple. Beautiful. That's the card it comes with. So I believe these are given, they're an XP reward, a player XP reward. That's a cool sleeve. It's like rounded. It's rounded to the card. I believe it's 100 XP or 1,000 XP. I think it's 100 if you're a player and you reach the 100 XP mark. And I'm not sure if it's Taiwan or China or what the exact place to get that is, but very cool to see one in the flesh. Regardless, he did say he was sending a gift. I'll have to inquire as to exactly what these are. Obviously, I know they're from they're similar to the card. Very cool. Thanks, man. I'll make sure I display those when I can. So that's one of the mail day items, package 1. Package 2 came from New Zealand again. Someone who's featured 3 or 4 times on the video now. He has some stuff of his own, but he also, when he gets his hands on stuff or sees some stuff locally, he helps me acquire it. This was actually done as part of another mail day you guys saw, but these boxes were a little bit late arriving to him, so he sent the first ones first, as to not keep me waiting. And these have come a little bit after. It's always packaged extremely well with bubble wrap. So I believe him and I went halves on a case of these. These are my 2 and he's kept 2. There we go. Crucible of War, first edition. Goodness, my favorite set to open, bar none. These will obviously be featured on the channel soon enough. Okay, so the last bit of unboxing will be the longest. This is a Rudy promo, the first direct from Rudy that I've bought that's actually arrived. The Flesh and Blood Rudy promos haven't landed. The ones that I've bought, only the ones that landed in America first and got sent to me have landed. So I bought this for a couple of reasons. Yes, it's a bit of a troll. I'm happy if you dislike and take off and whatever. So first of all, I'm not investing in this product. This will be more than likely the first and only opening you see. The reason I picked this up is quite simple. This is not packed very securely for the promo card, but that's the main reason I spent money on this. Oh look, there's a box topper just stuck in there. So I thought it'd be cool to have the Rudy card, even though it's a Metazoo card, seeing I've got all the other promos. Also, I kind of wanted to own a Metazoo playmat, especially to take to Flesh and Blood events as a troll. And the last reason is that I'd like to open some and have my own opinion on the quality and the art and all that. This was the only way to acquire the Rudy promo card, so I did it. No apologies there. Where did I even put the Rudy promo card? I've lost it already. I'll go looking. But to show you that I have no intent, there it is, it's stuck to the bottom of this box. I have no intentions of like keeping sealed product, trying to flip this. I'm going to open it all. Talk about my thoughts and feelings on the zoo, Metapoo. Everyone has an opinion. Mine is fairly loosely based on, maybe just not loving the art, which is subjective. So I don't see that as a be-all, end-all reason to diss the game or whatever. I have made a video about, in response to people calling fake on some Metazoo cards. I have recently seen a clickbait video. Obviously, I clickbait as well. I'm not trying to be all high and mighty, but Louis clickbaited some allegedly fake cards, Flesh and Blood cards. I'm not too happy with that kind of thing because unfortunately people do sometimes just read the headline and click off. Obviously the cards were not fake. There, to my knowledge, no fake Flesh and Blood cards out there. He also shows the watermark and how you can tell they're not fake, which is also not something I particularly think needs to be out there in the open unless absolutely necessary. Because, you know, once you put that out there, people that might want to print fakes can, you know, can now find that information easily, or easier than it was before when you're a public figure. Look, I'm not bagging Louis. Each to their own. I'm sort of saying, I don't think there's fake Metazoo cards. I don't think there's fake Flesh and Blood cards. I'm sure there will be. So I have no idea what we're looking at here. Where are we? Original owner of this page attended a Metazoo first Nightfall release event. Okay, this is the release event promo. Sure. Believe this is the spell book. Release box. Release event box. I think from like the little I know is you can get some valuable cards in here. By the way, if you're watching this and you do collect Metazoo, hit me up if you want to buy this once it's been opened. I'm not expecting a premium or anything. I just have no intentions of keeping it long term. I'm going to put my holos in the corner, I guess. So this is a spellbook pre-con, I guess, a bit like a blitz deck. These cards, I mean, they're a little plasticky. Don't know if that's good or bad. One thing, like as a negative, I would say with all the fake research stuff I did was that, you know, a card, anything being made in China comparative to like Belgium or Japan, usually there's quality concerns, right? Which is, I think, reasonable. Okay, so what are we looking at? Beastie, Sasquatch, Rapper, Rebobs. These are bowed, by the way. They've traveled a long way. That's part of it. Yeah, made in China. The artwork, you know, I can see why people that play Flesh and Blood or Magic may not be, like this stuff may not appeal to them whatsoever. So I think this is called a reverse holo because the holo is on the thing, or is it a normal holo and reverse is the background? I'm not sure. If I played or collected more Pokemon, I might know. Yes, I'm mixing the sets up there in the corner because I don't know the difference. So what are my thoughts? Metazoo. The rumor is it's going to be, so that's a very subtle holographic. It doesn't appeal to me, right? I don't think I would play this game. The art's maybe not the primary problem there either. It's just my preference is the fantasy medieval type stuff, right? That's my preference. If I was playing a game on my PC, if I was picking, it wouldn't be something like... I'm trying to think of examples now. Like, I don't play Pokemon games, for instance. I'm more likely to play Diablo or Path of Exile, World of Warcraft. Like, they're the games that I've spent thousands or hundreds of hours on. So that's definitely a part of it. Flesh and Blood appeals to me because of that art style, that RPG element. There's a Jersey Devil. Not sure if that's extremely valuable or worth nothing. So I think people open these with scissors, but again, don't particularly care of preserving these cards more than just opening everything I got, having a look, getting a hands-on experience with the product that's talked about so much. I'm looking for a pair of scissors. I don't have one anyway, so whatever. Okay, that opens fine. So I haven't looked at the gameplay to tell you if I think it's a good game or not, but people that seem to play or have played a lot of Magic and Flesh and Blood seem to look at this and go, the gameplay is not great. I have seen they do have some sort of pro circuit. I'm sure that'll probably grow. keep in mind, like, the game's successful, right? Meaning, when I say successful, is they're selling product. If they go into Walmart, they're going to sell even more product. Don't be surprised if these guys have a larger price pool or Headless Horseman than Flesh and Blood or Magic. It's probably more of a gimmick game, sure, but I don't think that's a problem for, like, Pokemon collectors. It's like, you know, people collect Charizards or Pikachus not because they're, like, the strongest card in the meta or anything like that. It's purely art. Another Headless Horseman. That's right, I remember something online saying, or a comment saying the promos are, like, all the same. Like, there's no random. So to open one and sell one. But, like, again, I'm not investing in the product, so that's not going to happen. I don't care if I lose value here. So yeah, I think this game's here to stay. I don't think it necessarily chews away yet. That's cool how the inking, see the ink of Nightfall is like a little shiny. That's a cool feature on a non-foil card. All right, so what have we got? First edition Nightfall. That has something loose in it, a coin or something. Yeah, I don't think the game's going anywhere. I think it's like, it'll be looked at like Pokemon in 10 years if it's still around. It's like maybe an adult version of Pokemon where, you know, no one's got the nostalgia effect. Except for that, you might have a nostalgia effect of, like, you're from New Jersey and, you know, you remember childhood stories about the Jersey Devil. And spat all over the mat. So what's this, poster thing? Cool. Rules. Okay, this must be one of those. This might end up being on my Flesh and Blood deck. Don't tell anyone. I think the negativity comes from two places. One is you get the same negativity from Magic players towards Flesh and Blood, which is like loyalty, fanaticism. And by fanaticism, I'm saying they're fans, they're fanatical. Not all negative, it's just like that. What do we call it? Let's call it heavy duty love for a game and protectiveness, and that's fine. The other negativity is like it was based on Kickstarter. Kickstarter has some notoriety of pump and dump stuff. There's plenty of products on Kickstarter that never made the light of day, or the end product was terrible. But for all intents and purposes, it seems like this game is not going anywhere. So what is this? Is it like a pre-con deck or just a bunch of... I'm assuming there's nothing valuable because I can't see a single hello in here. So it's just what? Auras. Okay, so this is like the energy, what you'd get in a Pokemon box. That's what that is. Sleeves. Okay, so these are like packs from the different things and like whatever in here. Tokens. No, let's open packs. I like opening packs no matter what they are. So yeah, negativity, I think it comes from that. Made in China is probably something I'd agree with as a negative. Not that everything made in China is terrible. I own an iPhone. That's, you know, I'm sure half of my vehicle is made in China. So that's irrelevant. But is there more room for copyright infringement and IP being stolen or copied? Or, yeah, it's more possible. Is it happening? I don't know. I don't think so based on what I've heard, looked at. I think it's all a whole bunch of people speculating as they do and trying to affect the market. What's the other negativity? I mean, the art, again, subjective. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. It's like, yes, there's an argument to be made that Flesh and Blood, the quality of the art is higher. But, like, let's compare this to early day Magic. The art's probably on par. That's like on par with early day Magic art. It's not as dark, but it's just as much work and effort, right? So Flesh and Blood already is known, like, people that like Flesh and Blood know that the art's very good. I don't think you can go and assume or expect the same quality to come out of a company like Metazoo. Axel Hound. Axel Handle Hound, I should say. Positives. Seems like Metazoo is ambitious. Not to say Flesh and Blood isn't. I'm not making a comparison. I'm saying if Mike was able to get his product into Walmart, that's freaking huge for a game. It's very good for you if you're a collector / player for the game to be commercialized in any way like Pokemon, because that game has IP through the wazoo, and that's good for the game. It makes your product very liquid. Everyone wants some. You know, if you're trying to sell Pokemon product right now during Christmas, it's not hard to do. That's all great for the game. It's not anything like Flesh and Blood, because I would assume Metazoo will probably launch a million iPhone apps and a game that you can play and a cartoon series and whatever. And when I say game you can play, they may not even launch a card game you can play. They might just launch an action adventure type game you can play. Like, none of that is what Flesh and Blood is trying to do. Flesh and Blood is literally in the Flesh and Blood. They only really support local game stores. They don't want even online retailers selling their products. So you better bet that Walmart's more than likely never going to stock. So I'm only looking for holos because I think the good cards are only holo. What am I trying to say? Werewolf of Defiance. I'm just saying. I don't think I would collect or play this game. So, if you're watching this and you're agreeing, great. If you're watching this agreeing and saying Metapoo and it's a pump and dump and whatever else, like, I don't know, why are you being so negative? Funnily enough, it's a very good chance. Like, Metazoo has a bigger chance of being a bigger hit than Flesh and Blood, because I think it'll appeal to a lot more casual people, a lot more people that maybe are not gamers, but they're happy to collect some quirky cards that clearly have some secondary market value. Like, that's a... Man, you can't argue with that. Should you collect it? Nope. Me as a collector investor? Nope. Seems like everyone only really cares. Like, from all the chatter that I hear about this game, I very, very rarely see any gameplay chatter, anything remotely resembling discussions like Flesh and Blood or Magic, where the meta is important. It's very much about just find the lottery cards or the chase cards in this, the ones that are worth value. You know, hold on to your Kickstarter boxes. They sell for $1 billion. Like, that's more what this is about. And if that's the market, that can also, like, again, let's say percentage-wise, there's like, I don't want to throw a number because I'm really assuming here, but let's say 20% of the market is a Wendigo. That looks cool, actually. 20% of the market is players, and 80% are investor collector types, or pump and dump types, or scalper types, you can call them. That can be very harmful very quickly. That can turn on a dime. People can change their mind on a product and jump out of a product. I feel like a little bit of that is already happening in Flesh and Blood, where there's a lot of all the quick money might be gone, and people are, you know, maybe switching or exiting. There's a few people here and there that are like, I'm selling all my product. Here's all my seals. Here's all my first editions. Like, people that aren't investors. They bought thinking they can make quick money, and they can't. You know, Monarch's a good example of that. Let's talk about Monarch. It's funny because I was thinking about it today. I sold a case to a subscriber of mine because he's local. He's coming to the event today. So later on today, we're opening some first edition stuff at a local store. You know, I charged him 900 Australian dollars because that's what I paid for it. I'm not making any money on it. The reason that's relevant, I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know, there's a lot of negativity about Monarch, which comes from, like, if you bought Monarch when it first came out, maybe you spent more than $900 a case. But I think the guy I'm selling it to just joined the game. But to him, that's actually expensive because, like, you can buy Tales of Aria for a lot less than 900 a case. Yet here he is being expected. You know what I mean? And anyone that did pick up Monarch for MSRP, like you still made 70 bucks in less than a year, right? In Australian dollars. It's a Headless Horseman. I think these normal holos are worth less than like reverse, or depending on the card. I'm sure someone will tell me I had a $1,000 card in my hand and didn't sleeve it, but that's okay. Familiar. So yeah, like Monarch is like, you got to look at Monarch and go, it's a box that was supposed to sell for 150. Again, talking Australian dollars, 140, 150 Australian dollars, 99 US dollars at MSRP. That's nearly double that, or it can easily be sold at like 275 or nearly double. That's a success story for people. Unless you bought it at 200 hoping it would double and then it didn't. But that's like, if that's what you're doing with a card game, man, look at the edge on that. It's terrible. See that? Terrible edge. Worse than an alpha edge for sure. You know, you guys see where I'm coming from. Saying like one person's loss, another person's gain, I guess, in short version. Air rods. I have no idea what any of these cards are. Like, I know a Mothman if I see it, but I think this set is not the one with the Mothman. So yeah, here you go. You get some Metazoo content. I will post a video of an Arcane Rising and a WTR Alpha unboxing live in a store later to freshen your palate, to cleanse your palate. Hopefully this doesn't upset you too much. But I thought I'd ramble on and open this stuff because, like I said, I don't intend to ever invest in a sealed product. I don't agree with it philosophically, so here I am opening this stuff that I could have easily flipped for money, so you guys know it's still something I'm not doing. Mind you, you never know if we hit a card worth more than the whole thing. I don't know what the chase card is, to be honest, so someone will have to tell me if I hit it or not. And then maybe I'll sell that card and pay for this kit. Towards the end of the case, I mean the box. These are big boxes. What are they? What does it say? 2 to 6 players. Oh, it's a draft box. Okay. 36 booster packs. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty there's a lot of cards in here. I'm also sure that some of the non-foils, like, I'm not looking at the rarities, right? I can, you know, I watch Rudy content because I like hearing him talk. So I think the bronze is the rarity. And see, it's like silver, and then there's gold. Like, I'm sure I've pulled something in the like rare slot that's worth something, right? That I've chucked into the commons. So there's no foil in this pack. There it is, just very subtle. But someone can buy this off me and go back through it if they intend on playing or whatever. Thoughts, the product feels plasticky. I don't want to say it's good or bad. It's got like a, like either the stock or they're laminating after they print it. I don't think you could ride on that card as well as you could ride on like a Flesh and Blood card. So, but maybe that's just that it's giving it this feeling, the art feeling. If anything, it's a bit like wax paper. The packs are actually quite nice to open. They're like a different type of packaging than a Flesh and Blood pack for sure. They do tear pretty easy. The art style's not my taste. And I don't mind Pokemon when it comes right down to it. This, let's have a look. What does this say? Okay, illustration poncho, Bruins. Okay, so see the artist is there, right? I would wonder if they have a shallower pool of artists, right? So you, like a game like Flesh and Blood, I wonder if Metazoo has a shallower pool because the art seems more consistent. like, I guess, a Pokemon set is, more consistent than like Flesh and Blood, where the same set seems to have like a deeper pool of artists, if that makes sense, different styles. You know, think of like in Tales of Aria, how the Caution looks compared to nearly every other card in the set. It's just, I don't think you can beat Flesh and Blood art. I haven't looked much. Ooh, what's this? Hope Diamond. This is probably worth something. Curse of Vanity. I don't know. Looks like a gem in foil or hollow, so maybe that's worth something. Anyway, hopefully I haven't lost too many subscribers doing this, but half of you are only here for giveaways, which is fine. It's my fault for offering them. But if I lose a couple, is what it is. It's a cool discussion. Again, this is a Flesh and Blood channel. Going through. I think that's obvious by the content. Oh, what's this? Adam Eckler. That's only one of those we've seen. I think that's it. Did I leave anything unopened? Like I said, I'm more excited about the playmat and the sleeves. Oh, I shouldn't have busted that box up because I could have used it to store this stuff. So should I play, here's the question, ending the video, should I play with these sleeves at a Flesh and Blood event on this map? That's the real question. Sorry to be a troll. I'm sorry. It's just a joke. It's not, but it is. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the mail day. Again, there'll be a big box opening video in the next 24, 48 hours. Hopefully we pull a Fabled or two. Two would be nice. I'll talk to you soon.